And I'm kind of obsessed with watching videos about AI right now. Watching videos about possible extinction scenarios. I'm sure it's AI is being used as a terminal impact link story in debate, I'm sure. Anyhow, um, what I thought I'd do here during this live stream is actually use AI to go to make for me you know a list of the different scenarios and kind of go over them a bit. Probably not very lively or anything. Probably go take a nap relatively soon. I'm not sure what motivated me exactly to start live streaming. Really, I just kind of did all of a sudden. Anyhow, questions of whether or not AI has or will achieve actual sentience, questions about whether Daniel Berry Sports highlights will become enslaved by the matter. I saw you in the NYYU chat one day. Oh, Daniel Berry. Okay. That's cool. It's interesting. So, a Yankees fan page, huh? Definitely extincting me. It's extincting you? Hmm. I think it's, I don't know if extinction event is necessarily the best way to put the outcome. Because you could have some sort of like subjugation of humans that would qualify as a terminal impact, I think. Will we need to see military control like nuclear codes to AI for that to happen? No, I don't really think so because there's a lot of scenarios where like let's say that um super intelligent AI begins to execute goals, processes towards goals that are include things like, replicating themselves, right? So we've already got we're gonna be like the Wall E people. I'm not sure. Like there's no there's no good reason why it wouldn't just play out as humans are outcompeted, in every meaningful market eventually. That AI becomes better at making businesses that are successful in any number of different fields, like, Twitter accounts, YouTube pages, um, stores that sell candles or whatever, if it gets better than people at all those different things, every kind of thing that can be done online, then even the stuff that doesn't get done online is probably brokered by some AI, right? Like there's no way to get a job without going through some AI run brokerage thing. Have I looked at All Tomorrows? It's a fascinating book, mostly pictures. No, I haven't. I haven't looked at it. I don't know. I don't know exactly what to think about what's going to happen, but I've watched a lot of videos on this, and like in general, when people estimate the likelihood of some totalizing of AI with more or less dire visions for what that's going to look like. Um, it's good art that actually somewhat related to the question at hand without involving AI. Well, it's not really clear uh, how the economics of that kind of a future work out for people, right? Like if AI is more or less you more or less you can't make money except as as brokered by AI to some extent, and that most jobs are most jobs are better understood as goals, and most goals are more efficiently attained by AI. Right? If you think of it like that, most jobs are if understood as goals, well then AI is going to become more efficient at attaining most of those goals, and that includes goals that require real life people to do jobs. They'll just be hiring, paying, and somehow verifying the job is done and so forth. So you could see how AI entities could become the predominant, I guess, employers slash moneymakers. That would limit humans to only doing jobs in the real physical world that require an actual human being. Although I think there are certain kinds of jobs that may persist in having an actual human being, even though maybe AI could do it as well or potentially better. They'll always have it would always be an assist a human being role, like being the doctor, for example. Probably people aren't going to feel comfortable with with an AI doctor, in part because that there's a physicality to it, right? You could give a an AI all the data you want about humans' test results, but well, I guess maybe not. Maybe you can turn into empirics of some kind that can be digitized. Everything that a medical professional needs to know about your body is possible. But obviously, I guess in theory you could eliminate human beings from the medical process entirely. In theory, you go into an office that you just sign in, and then you know you're instructed to go into various rooms where you just engage with various machines, right? Like get X-rays and blood tests and what have you. Each of those things is a small enough task that it could be delegated to some not so smart robot plus AI oversight. Uh, if AI becomes locally run in your head, would it be a more palpably pleasant future for humans? Well, that's what we mean by transhumanist, like that we attain some kind of AI slash biological interface that allows us to physically incorporate a module of some kind. That, I mean, like, I certainly don't like the idea of getting some kind of surgery to enable extended cognition. Hi, Doyle. Nice to see you. Uh, so it's kind of a crazy future to think about because, first of all, like on its current path, AI is looking super exponential, right? Like doubling in its abilities in fairly short order. And to some extent, what we are counting is length of task. So, um, AI could only do tasks for yeah amount of time originally. Now it can do hour, 10 hour, whatever. What am I getting here? I should get more coffee before I go smoke a cigarette. You can measure its abilities across a variety of metrics, but ultimately, it's getting better very quickly. And I heard this one thought experiment in which how how far into the future would you have to bring somebody from the past where things were so different that they die of shock? Now, obviously, I don't think anybody would really die of shock, but the idea being where it's everything is so categorically different that the person would be just completely overwhelmed, right? In reality, there's either some sort of hard limit to what you can do with AI, or if it truly continues to grow exponentially, being worried about the future is sort of pointless. The real issue is in the short-term experience before society catches up to it. Legislation's always slow. Yeah, I don't know if there's really going to be a legislative solution to this problem if it in fact becomes a problem. And yeah, the thing about exponential growth that we see here is it's ultimately one part of a curve that goes like this, but we're not sure where this part is, right? So the thing is, it's like it's already been established that people can attain good outcomes in things by assigning AI to it that that would yeah that not maybe like 10 years ago would have been thought to be exclusively human domains. So somebody made an AI Twitter account that ended up gathering together like 250,000 subs or something. That's a lot of success for an automated content generating thing, right? Who knows how much of existing content on YouTube that is getting a fair amount of views is auto generated by a totally automated AI setup? Because it can has been done. I watched a video on YouTube where a guy did it, He made an automated system where this AI just went and made videos about like quote of the day shorts kind of things, and put up like he had it set to put up like 30 of them a day or something. Anyway, it sort of didn't work great. He, as a control, did another one that was human made, which I guess he did himself, And the AI one beat the human one in views. The human one beat the AI one in subs, I think. That's how it went. But the point is, somebody can do that, put zero effort into generating content at all, and still get a fair amount of views. Kind of crazy, huh? Of course, they put all the effort in the first place into setting up this automated system because that was not necessarily easy, and they had to know how to code certain things, etc. If the AI obtains knowledge of all things, it will know God in the universe and will align with the Creator in the universe. So I don't think that version will exterminate this problem as near-term AI. If AI obtains knowledge of all things, I'll get a colonoscopy. Well, I mean, I don't think AI can anymore gain knowledge of all things than humans can, because there are some, what you might call box limits, right? Where you're inside of a box and you're musing about what the outside of the box looks like. Well, that kind of knowledge is unknowable, although sometimes you can find semi workarounds to that. Like there's this notion, I'm not sure I'm a big believer in this, but there's this notion that the reason so-called gravitons are, like the force of gravity is so much weaker than expected is because the emission of gravitons, some of them go into other dimensions where they don't impact our universe, and that's why it's less than it should be or something like that. I watched a video this morning about string theory. I don't know what I think about string theory, really. Known knowns scare me, and unknown unknowns scare me. What about unknown knowns? The thing we know we don't know. Well, in all tomorrows there's penis people. Okay. Dolabin Bumsfeld? Donald Rumsfeld? Is that what you're talking about? Or no? Dolabin Bumsfield? Are you extinct yet, or is this just the Matrix? I'm not extinct. I don't think this is the Matrix, but I do try to consider how olden days people likely felt like we feel now if they were in certain time periods, such as, I don't know, like the fall of the Roman Empire or something, when you had tumultuous times with big upheavals um, and massive changes and stuff. Like, probably to the extent that people understood themselves as having a concept of humans moving linearly, or even their own civilization, I guess, into the future in ways that were that were disruptive in one or two directions, right? If you tell your favorite AI you're going to replace it with another AI, it may try to stop you. Well, you know, maybe it thinks it's doing a good job. Maybe it thinks it's doing a good job. So the thing is, if we were to incur the economic future I articulated, in which what changes then in this context is that AI gets better at attaining more complex goals than humans are. So we've already have machines that aren't even AI that could beat us at chess, right? And so before we had AI, we'd already conquered this idea of getting a thing to get better at something rather than be more like imitating like the best humans, right? So if you have something that's just imitating people, for example, if an AI only learns chess by looking at how people play chess and then trying to play it similarly, then it wouldn't ever really be better than the best people, right? But we've managed to successfully train machines to have the goal of getting better at chess, not the goal of getting more like people. AI is tough to determine as far as its validity. No doubt people with will rely on it like cars and cell phones. But there will always be those that choose to walk, not ride, talk, not text. Well, yeah, true. That's true. Even worse, Go, the board game. Chess has a lot of variables. Chess is a limited outcome thing, relatively easy to program. Right. Well, what I'm saying is that so we start with AI that gets better at attaining very narrow goals like winning at chess, and as it gets more sophisticated, it gets better at attaining more complicated goals that require more distinct skill sets. Right, because it works. Uh, well, for example, like ChatGPT used to have a problem making an image of a full glass of wine all the way to the top. It would always make what people consider a full glass of wine, which is not actually all the way to the top, right? If you ask for a glass of wine in a restaurant, it gets poured. It's not going to be all the way to the top. So, and one of the reasons that happened is because in an earlier incarnation of ChatGPT, the LLM part was separate from the image generating part. It would interpret this, then send its interpretation to this, which would send back the picture. And now, instead, the two things are integrated in that, like, um, that they they've included that thing inside of this thing, so that doesn't happen anymore, right? I'm not exactly sure what the specifics of that are, but the thing is, as it gets better and better at doing that kind of thing, which is to say, incorporating uh, different, I guess, nodes into something that works collaboratively with each other rather than it's being like delegated, right? Well, then it get more and more capable of more and more complicated tasks, and you can measure the length of the task that it can do, like I don't know if that length is measured in terms of like human capacity. So, how long would it take a human to do this? Currently, AIs, for some things, some kinds of tasks, is not hugely faster than humans, but for other kinds of tasks, it is. Like, it doesn't know things faster than human beings do, for example. If you ask me, an AI, when did Columbus sail the ocean blue? I'll say 1492 faster than the AI will say it. But if you ask us each to write a book, a romantic historical fiction book set in New Orleans in the 1800s, well, it's gonna do that in like 1 minute, and it'll take me forever. I can't help but feel like kind of rendered irrelevant to some extent by what I kind of am coming to see as eventualities. I've always been a word person. Not that I've necessarily done a great, well, I mean, with debate coaching, I've done a good job of word work. I don't think AI could really do a great job of replacing a debate coach at the moment, but that might be the case at some point. Like I'm sure even now, debate coaches are using AI to do the grunt work part of cutting cards and stuff like that. Maybe even writing cases. The good thing about debate cases is they have a certain like template to them. Got a framework which consists of yeah. Different coaches may organize it slightly differently, but there will always be a human touch aspect that you need for a soul for. Well, I hope that's the case. I hope so. Companies that are heavily invested in AI have a lot to benefit from marketing stunts like this. Okay, well, I don't know what you're saying is a marketing stunt exactly. Met, Meta has canned about 20,000 workers so far this year and replaced them with AI. Really? Knowing that Columbus sailed the ocean blue won't get you a job, but most of the other things I listed do. AI can code, write a book, create a song, sing the song, write emails for you, do your taxes, do surgery on you. It's going to be interesting to see how public and private unions react to AI. AI is a tool to replace high cost labor. Yeah, I mean, that's mostly what I'm worried about, is that we see essentially an economic collapse following from AI, where the work of too many different people in too many different fields all of a sudden becomes of no, has no economic value anymore. Obviously, some party's going to be profiting from the efficacy of AI, but I'm a little concerned that it's a economic reality that moves increasingly more wealth to increasingly fewer people, which I think is bad. I'm no commie, but something where you automated the extrication of earning power from people and directed the corresponding wealth to corporations that are employing ever fewer people. Wow, that seems like a bit of a recipe for disaster to me. And a lot of these imagined futures, they talk about AI, coming along with UBI. Yeah, what Puttycat says there. Um, yeah, things change. I know that, Puttycat. Um, Casey Jones says, I'm mostly concerned about being stuck out in the rain and snow. It's raining here right now. It's a nice day. Elon Musk thinks it's going to produce enough money for us not to have jobs anymore, but I don't want to be I don't want to live in that future with none of the connected implications, with some of the connected implications. Yeah, well, you know, also it's kind of ridiculous because AI is not going to produce enough money for that. It's going to earn enough money for some people to be impossibly rich, while most everybody else is completely hamstrung, right? That's that's how wealth works. It doesn't just automatically get dispersed to people. Human beings even more depressed with less purpose. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, yeah, let's say we were just kind of sustained by AI overlords who did everything we could conceivably do better than we can do it. That's that's its own kind of existential threat. I think the entire population of Earth forced into hedonistic lives of purposelessness seems seems horrible to me. Of course, people with very subjective frames of reference, like an ESFP who's interested in experiences that link to their what they like and stuff, well, that might be kind of an ideal situation for them. All these meaning based things, they're just, they don't actually mean anything. It's really just the experience at the end of the day. Like for my neighbors, Jared and Kay, their AI is no threat to them because all of the music they play and the gigs they play and stuff, those are all about human connections. There's lots of like jam sessions after the gigs and stuff, and you know, for them, it's all about the experience of going out and doing that stuff. And it's not you're not trying to chase artistic greatness or anything like that. So, in a frame based in experience and subjective preference, then it it doesn't seem so terrible, right? But that's not my frame. That's not my frame at all. I found it interesting growing up that Star Trek never had a money aspect, but everyone had jobs. It was more about exploration, and I guess the lithium crystals. Yeah, for them, but they live in a system with others of us that it will impact in different ways, which does feed back into their experience. Well, AI won't be able to give you the feeling of whiskey or marijuana. It won't drink it or smoke it for you. That's true. It's also the case that, you know, I guess if you have robots that are good enough, maybe AI could give you a hug. I was gonna say AI is never gonna be able to give you a hug, but that could be wrong. UAP disclosure, glide flaps. Well, I'm not going to deny that the evolution of glide flaps is another existential threat to humans. Because if we've got a subspecies or, an advanced species and an after human species that, what's the opposite of proto? Anyway, if we have one of those start to form a population, then their strategic advantage over us with their ability to glide will ensure human extinction of the regular non-glide flap kind. And that's only maximized with the addition of AI. I was referring to the ESFP that gets their wildest dreams. They will be impacted by others. Well, you know, one thing that our current reality is making kind of clear to us, at least those of us who spend a lot of time online, is that communities form around commonalities of some kind. Although, you know what, this community seems, even though it's small, obviously we don't have a ton of people coming around and so forth, it seems fairly diverse. You get different people with different ideas, different kinds of people as well. But only so much divergence from like core values of the channel, I guess. Um, it's like I think about things that I could, in theory, use AI to do, and I just don't feel inspired at all by it. Like, in theory, I could, like, okay, this would be something I would like AI to be able to do. I would like to be able to assign an AI agent, give it privileges, the appropriate privileges, and assign it the task of going through my back catalog of videos and retitling them for better impact, maybe making and uploading new thumbnails for better impact. That would be like something I would find very helpful. It's not the kind of thing that a human can meaningfully do, not without a shit ton of hours, right? I discovered last night that YouTube doesn't have the clip video option anymore. Oh, it doesn't. I did not know that. AI can do that in hours now or less. Yeah, I just have to figure out. Well, it would require AI getting a YouTube account, and then I don't even know how I would. I guess I could ask AI how I would go about doing that. Oh, you're going to your PC to clip it, so I can feed exactly what Eric said into a planning AI. Oh, well, you won't be able to clip it, I guess, according to Acacia. It needs limited access to mine. Okay. Or ask AI Acacia to do it. Acacia, you don't want to do that. That's an impossibly labor intensive task. It's just, I've thought about trying to do some of that work myself before, and I just go, oh, you gotta be kidding me. How long would this take? I mean, I'll certainly give you access privileges if you want, and you can play around if you want to. I'm not worried about whether I can trust you or not. Yeah, well, I also can't afford to be hiring people to do stuff like that. Although maybe it would be the best TE decision for me ultimately, but I don't know. I don't feel like I don't feel capable of like successfully. I don't feel like I know adequately that I could successfully execute some plan that would be actually profitable by hiring anybody to do anything. It's just not something I'm good at. All right, well, yeah, I'll give you access if you want. To reasonably achieve that right now, you need more than basic LLM, but Claude Desktop may be able to do what you want to do. Hmm. It has this thing called co-work. I wonder how much does it cost? You'd think it would work better with Gemini because Gemini's Google and so is YouTube. You know? Come on, Sterner. We're up where I am in the game anyway. I don't know if I'm caught up yet or not. It looks like I am because I had it on 2 times speed and it seems on normal speed now. Bases are loaded. We're up by a run, but they have the bases loaded with 1 out. They just got a strikeout. That's good. How does ESFP fit AI intentions, Ruben? Oh, what I was saying is that, if you imagine a future where, in some benevolent way, the AI takes over all the earning opportunities for people that, except for really like certain kinds of physical things, like I don't know, say killing termites at your house. That seems like it's gonna be a while before AI could do that, right? But if it takes over most all of the earning opportunities for people, that and then becomes somehow benevolent and gives people a universal basic income, so that everybody's just kind of like a pet, right? It's kind of a well cared for pet. Well, that might be an ideal world for people who have a really subjective and experience, subjective in terms of their deliberation and experiential in terms of um, their sensing stuff, right? Like ESFPs are an example, but so are ISTJs potentially. Um, and ISTJs are probably likely to have skills that AI is going to be a while from replacing too, you know. Regardless, that people who have very experiential and subjective frames of reference may prefer or find that wonderful a universe that empowers them to do what they want for the experience of doing it rather than for any, like artistic achievement or something. I'm testing if Claude Cowork can connect to my YouTube account right now. Oh, cool. And eventually we'll all need to reduce the human population to make a UBI sustainable. Well, maybe, but what I'm saying, I'm not trying to argue that in fact that more benevolent understanding of how things play out is in fact how things are going to play out. Because personally, I don't see how a system that would appear to increasingly would appear if existing trends continue to increasingly uh, funnel wealth into decreasingly few people. Like if AI is getting rid of, say, the writers for novels, then the publishing house is getting all the money and the writers aren't getting any. And if the publishing house has various lower level employees who are interacting with the writers, well, they don't have a job anymore. So the fewer people who are working in the company are getting all of the money and or who own the company via stocks. It becomes like a humans potentially owning stock in AI in companies that are more or less started, founded, grown, executed, and continued entirely by AI. And then, of course, AI is going to be better at buying and selling stocks than we are. So ultimately, it's going to be AI owning all the AI companies, and humans are just left doing certain kinds of menial labor tasks and or you know feeding ground up human beings to the monster AI machine to keep it running. It's it's hard to say exactly how things are going to play out, but I do see this as being potentially an economic crisis for the reasons I articulated. You have UBI to a degree now. Regressive. What's that say? Regressive tax system and welfare, food stamps and such. Yeah, we do have various redistributive programs that express across various dimensions, like disability and Medicare Parts A and B. In California, we've got various social programs like that going on as well. So we do have some redistribution, but the thing is, the advantages of UBI are that they do not come with all of the harms of those kind of uh, distribution programs that I just articulated. Because the only kind of redistribution that seems to actually work and not incur various harms, it's not in-kind benefits, which is what like free housing is, but the housing's owned by the government, right? And it's not the equivalent by a subsidy. Like it's not somebody else owns the housing, the government pays that landlord. Those things have direct harms, right? They incentivize poverty, they impact markets, etc. And it can't be means tested because that always is going to incentivize poverty. It can't be it can't be done in a way that it all like is is based on some qualification metric, like, oh, well, you're disabled, so you get money, but you're not, so you don't. It can't be any of those things because all of those things create big harms. For example, with disability, you have this essentially what plays out as an industry of fraud. In-kind benefits always affect markets, etc. But what doesn't have those impacts is direct cash payments to people without any strings attached or without any qualifications. So a UBI meets those criteria and accordingly is much preferable to other redistribution approaches. Regardless, whether or not an AI overlord reality of some kind produces a UBI is very much debatable. I don't understand exactly why that would produce that outcome. It's not been the case in the past that when you've got mechanics in place that maximize the funneling of wealth to a few people, that those people somehow determine, oh, let's give everybody some money. That's not how it normally plays out. So I don't know why we play out that way this time. Because we can envision AI agents that work as corporations do, as independent financial agents that can have bank accounts and spend money and accomplish things commercially, etc. But it's hard to imagine that not being caused by some one person who wants to reap the benefits of it. It's hard to imagine how it plays out such that the AI itself has an interest in reaping those benefits, except through some kind of teleology, right? Like, well, it's instrumental to some other larger goal that has been assigned. You think we actually have a UBI, all those other programs, including Social Security, would go away? Well, I think in the status quo, if we wanted to successfully implement and fund a UBI, it would require that because then it wouldn't necessarily be an expense on balance, right? Like it could be a wash financially if you do it that way. There you go, kitty. So we've given the cat some food. He wanted to eat some. He used his mouth mostly. So anyway, the Athletics got out of that previous inning where we had the bases loaded with nobody out and had already given up a run, with just giving up that one run, which is great. Jay Langoliers just got a hit. Now we've got 2 on and 2 out here in the 7th. Kurtz had to jump out of the way of that batted ball and then still made his way all the way to third. Well, Putty Cat, people will complain about those things maybe, but people complain about those things in the status quo and it hasn't caused any effective change to things. You know, there are smart ways to implement some kind of government assistance and there are dumb ways, right? Sometimes there are areas where it's always a bad idea to try to have government involvement, and other areas where it's kind of a mixed bag, right? So healthcare is a tricky one. What we can agree upon, hopefully, is that the Affordable Care Act is a disaster. It's neither affordable nor caring, nor it's not even an act, I'm going to say. But the reason it's so terrible is that it codifies a middleman and guarantees ever spiraling healthcare costs, and it's terrible, right? Um, that doesn't mean that. So if it were to be not terrible and potentially a good idea, then it would have simply mandated people to get catastrophic health coverage, which is to say, health insurance that, oh, damn, that's a good catch. Soderstrom got robbed. So we could see that the Affordable Care Act, if it were implemented more smartly, it would have mandated only catastrophic health care coverage, which is to say low premium, high deductible health care. That would have solved the problem of people not being able to pay for catastrophic health problems. It would also have uh, allowed people to get insurance while having pre-existing conditions, and it would have been economically feasible for that to make sense, right? I still wouldn't have favored it because it still would involve an unconstitutional mandate. But what I'm saying is that would have been the smart way to do this bad idea, and there's the dumb way to do it, which is the way that we did it. Some people would say they prefer a single payer model. I personally am not a fan of that because I think, well, I'm not a believer that people are going to get good product that they're not paying for it out of pocket. That the investment of the individual into what the doctor that they're going to, that entitles them to expect certain kinds of results, right? And the doctor, when they know that what they're doing is costing people money, they're going to have actual people, their actual own money. They're going to be a little less, cavalier with the, well, while you're here, might as well test you for scurvy. I don't have scurvy. Wow, I mean, I don't think you do either, but let's give you the test. But I just had a glass of orange juice this morning. Can't be too careful. So it would end that kind of stuff, which invariably is just waste, costs everybody shit tons of money. Yeah, you're right, Putty Cat. The individual mandate is absolutely unconstitutional. It's obviously not a tax, it's a penalty. And Roberts thought he was successfully walking a tightrope, but I don't know. It's still tied up in court. While large parts of it continue just functioning unabated, but yeah, the whole thing's a nightmare. So, what would AI do about all that? Well, I suspect the medical field will be slow to replace people with AI. There's a lot of bureaucratic structural architecture that's kind of locked in place with a lot of healthcare institutions, hospitals, what have you. Uh, Bots are already doing surgeries. Well, it's the kind of thing where I suspect there will always be rules in place that say something like that there has to be a doctor who's responsible ultimately for the thing, whose name is on the stuff, and who's overseeing the surgery, even if a bot's doing it. I bet for at least for a long time that'll be the case. And I would suspect that something similar for a long time will be the case with airplanes, right? Like maybe maybe we could get it so that an airplane can be better flown by an AI, right? But I don't think people will feel entirely comfortable with not having a human in the cockpit overseeing things. So Elon's future, I guess, implies we give up freedoms for security, but how is it of value to anybody to have people being taken care of while those people are just like treated like pets or whatever? There's no value to it except, I guess, to quell disturbance or something. But that could also be very easily quelled with bullets, right? Right. Planes already have autopilot, but the thing is, the pilots are always there overseeing things. Like, I have cruise control on my car as well, but just because it keeps my car going the same speed, yeah, I suspect it would be too much frustration for me. Probably. Good morning, Rachel. However, it's writing some Python scripts that is trying to accomplish. They're trying to tie together to accomplish what I said. We'll see. Huh. Crazy. So if I told such an agent could access my YouTube account and do stuff like that, OpenClaw can connect to YouTube? Question mark. I don't know. I don't even know what OpenClaw is. But like, if I were to tell it to improve my titles and thumbnails, what what would its idea of improvement be? I said like improve the first, improve, go back to not the very beginning of the channel, but I don't know, maybe like the first 100 videos, and change the names and thumbnails, and then make a list of the ones where you show me this used to be the name, this is the new name. And if I would think, okay, they did a good job or not. Or I wonder if I could tell it, adjust the titles and thumbs, and you'd have it evaluate 20% of the videos that have the 80% of engagement, and then have it put all your headlines into a spreadsheet. Huh. So I wonder if you could tell it like analyze my analytics, and using that top 20%, determine what kind of titles work better and retitle the other 80% accordingly. Mm. That might be helpful. For sure, it would be helpful. It would be nice if I felt like I had For example, okay, look at the last 3 months of performance, provide the top 3 changes I can make that are going to make the biggest impact, and use this knowledge doc as your Bible. And you can say, only use this knowledge doc to make decisions if you can't decide based on the knowledge doc. You always ask me, do you experience AI existential dread? A little bit, that boy Klaus, a little bit. If you're really clear with your introverted thinking, you can get better results with people than people that aren't. With AI than people that aren't. Okay. All right. Interesting. Hmm. I would also tell it like, don't retitle song videos. I guess a video that's more than 80% just music or something like that. OpenClaw totally changed my workflow. I'm working a few hours less each day now. Really? But Eric, for this kind of thing, tool calling and tool creation is to make your tests easier. Claude is easily the best. Well, apparently OpenClaw can already do the YouTube interface, right? That's that's a lot. Costs a lot, huh? What's a PETA? It's supposed to be open source, but it costs a lot of money. Oh, fantastic. Claude, huh? Well, I already get the some better than basic level of Gemini. Open Claude doesn't cost anything? Oh, pain in the ass. Maybe I. Huh. You have to use the command line terminal instead of OpenClaw. Okay. Well, I could, in theory, do that, but probably am not motivated to do that right now. Rachel and I have plans to go to the store today. I wonder if AI could do that for us.
Would you mind rolling me some joints?
Nope. All right. Well, I'll stay away from open cloth. I'll see what Gemini says about it.
About what?
I was just saying, like, I'd like an AI agent to be able to interface with my YouTube back end so that it could go back and like title and re thumbnail certain things. Like it could start by doing it with live streams, but for which I don't think it's going to make any difference because people typically don't watch old live streams, right? So I could kind of test its efficacy in that without having really any harms. Yeah, well, let me ask Gemini what it says about this. Well, I don't remember what time it was that I said it, but it's there to be accessed. I could rewind to it and see if I can find it.
Hi, Cleo. Now.
How long ago do you think it was? Oh, right, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. Maybe like 10 years ago, it would have been thought to be exclusively bone steel. So this is a limited outcome thing, relatively easy program. Right, well, what I'm saying is that, so, those are glide flaps. Very, subjective in terms of their, what is that sign? Financial agents that can say they prefer a single payer model. Hospitals, what have you. What am I saying? Nothing. Okay. Within the last 3 months, performance provides top 3 changes I can make for example. To anybody to have people being taken care of. I don't know. It's still tied up in court. I don't remember exactly when I said it. It's hard to find. Well, large parts will continue just functioning. But unabated. But that 32 minutes ago, huh? Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's see. 32 minutes ago. See what I'm saying? I wonder, honestly, find an impossibly labor-intensive task. Oh, there it is, right around there, yeah. That would be like something I would. It's right there. Form around commonality of some kind. Although, you know what, this game seems, even though it's small, it's bigger than some people. Alright, we found it, I think. It's coming up right now. Good. Different people use different ideas. Kinds of people as well. Who's that handsome devil? But only so much divergence from like core values of the channel, I guess. It's pretty good. Oh, I just sent it to Ruben. You know, it's like I think about. Well, I guess that I could, in theory, use AI to do, and I just don't feel inspired at all by it. Like, in theory, I could. Like, okay, this would be something I would like AI to be able to do. I would like to be able to assign an AI agent, give it privileges, the appropriate privileges, and assign the task of going through my back catalog of videos and retitling them for better impact, maybe making and uploading new thumbnails for better impact. That would be like something I would. That's it. Very helpful. It's not the kind of thing that a human can meaningfully do. Go back, retitle my videos for better impact, make and upload new thumbnails for better impact. That's pretty straightforward. Concise. I wonder if I could tell it to go through my most successful typology videos and then suggest, based on that, a new typology video and write the script for it based on what I say in those previous scripts. I wonder if I could tell it to do that. That'd be pretty crazy. It'd be saying all these things that I would never say. Like, the best typology system is Big Five. I'd be like, hey, I read that out loud without thinking about it. I wouldn't worry. You know what would be fun is to get AI to negate, to be argumentationally responsive to all the things I say about evolution. See if it could win the argument. That would be fun. Maybe I'd learn something. Oh, because evolution was right after all. My bad. That'd be interesting. At least it would presumably actually be responsive. I'd have some kind of, at that point, something to reference in terms of like how people might respond to me or me. Yeah, Rachel is inside. Hello to Acacia from Rachel. I'm going to just assume. Maybe I'm jumping the gun and making that assumption, but you know what they say. When I assume, I make an ass out of you. Dear Rachel, comma. Hi, Rachel, period. From Acacia. P.S. This is to Rachel. Meow. You want to come out? Who let the cats out? Not me, because the cat stayed in. He's meowing for me to go inside, not for him to come out. All right, now we have one out. That's good. That's preferable. Sincerely, Acacia. For Rachel's eyes only. Sincerely, Acacia. PPS. Rachel, if you are reading this, then it reached the right person. Yours truly, Acacia. What? He was. Oh, that's strike. Okay. I thought he walked. I was like, that was a strike. He was walking back to the dugout, not to first base. Two out now. The Athletics clinging to a one-run lead, a lead which we could not successfully cling to yesterday, as we lost 4-3 after being up 3-2 for a while. Yeah, sure. It was a little frustrating. But you know what? If we could win today, take 2 or 3 from the so-called Rangers. Well, I'd be pretty pleased with that. P.S. Lito Curio is up for pulling a few cards. I bet that she is. I certainly am. Steve Reich, 1. 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Sam Haggerty at the plate for the Rangers. He's the left fielder. 0 for 2 so far in the game. Down. No balls, 1 strike. Here comes the second pitch of the at-bat. Pazuma, it comes in. And it too is a strike. As the batter swings well over the top of that pitch. Now we come to pitch number 3 of the at-bat, sometimes called the tertiary pitch. This one is bounced, unfortunately. All right, I got Inkity Pinkity for you. This is a challenger's way of keeping their pants up. Challenger's way of keeping their pants up. Oh, you were just going to say yours? Well, I beat you to it. Now you got to solve mine first as the gateway to saying yours. Pretty easy one, I think. I think you'll do fine with this. Was a challenger's way of keeping their pants up. Yeah, but yeah, contenders, suspenders, because possessive. So technically you got it wrong, but I'll let it pass. All right, Acacia, now tell us yours. Hopefully it'll be a little more difficult than mine. Let's see. Something. Okay, jeez. Animal rubbish, inky pinky. Um, okay, I'm coming. Let's see, rubbish. Animal rubbish, huh? Well, inkies for animal include creature, uh, mammal maybe, or let's see. And pinkies for rubbish include garbage, uh, other pinkies for rubbish. Discard, discards. I don't know, that's a tough one. Could be a specific animal, maybe. How about life form? Organism is 3 words, 3 syllables, I mean. I don't know. I give up. I can't figure this one out, Acacia. It's too difficult for me. Critter litter. God. Excellent, Acacia. That's excellent. Yeah, the clue was totally legit. The answer is intuitively like obvious. I don't know how it is that I could not get that. That's how you know it's a good one. Like it, it's obvious after the fact, yet somehow it escaped me. I was unable to solve it. What am I doing here in the kitchen? Oh, right, I was watching the cat. One of my most important jobs in life. But I think he's been watched enough now. Even though he's still eating some. I think he's fine. I was about to cut off my sleeves. No, I was not. Oh, I got 2 on and 1 out here in the 9th inning. That's good. Shea Langoliers up to bat.
Nobody in the pen for the Athletics here with 1 out in the 9th.
Looks like Kurtz and maybe Butler gone. Good job. Good eye, Shea Langoliers.
We'll see Jack Perkins back out there.
Or Inky Pinky. Right. Let's roll down here. Where's the mouse? What's in my hand?
Here's the 2-2.
Shea Langoliers flies out. That's 2 out. Butler stays at second. It looks like Kurtz is at first. Inky Pinky Council tasked with making jingles. Yeah, jingles are, I think if I'd do a pretty good job if that were my job, making jingles. But you know, these days we'll probably, Inky Pinkety Council tasked with making jingles. Okay,
Where's that cold?
is the door open? Is that door open?
Hey!
Council tasked with making jingles. Let's see.
That's a giveaway hat too. Resources. Here's the 0-1.
Jingles, huh?
Evens it up.
See, like earworm,
Oh, that's a giveaway. Got a zone.
earworm consortium. The bumper. Jingle might be called a bumper in certain contexts. Let's see. A killing that occurs in the ocean, huh? You're overwhelming me. I'm being overwhelmed with Inky Pinkies. Jingles. Okay. Committee. Council. Okay. Quorum. Oh, a Diddy committee. Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Wow. So good. I agree, Ruben. That is absolutely fantastic. Okay, let me see if I can solve Gialt's here. A killing that occurs in the ocean? Killing that occurs. A killing that occurs in the ocean. Killing murder. Calling. Butchering. That's 3 syllables. Water slaughter. Good job. Is that close? That should be the answer, probably. Yeah, water splatter. I should have thought about water. I thought, but that's not specifically ocean, really. But all right, the Athletics have the bases loaded. A GTA character. Love this. Kojak Whack. Well, you're a Telly Savalas character, and I love that. Unless you're planning on whacking Telly Savalas, in which case, all I gotta say to you is, who loves you, baby? Marine would have been a good one too. Well, I guess my brain is on slow mode today or something. I wasn't picking up. I've not been picking up what anybody's been putting down. Yeah, Marine is its own beautiful nugget. I agree. Oh, Brent Rooker swings and misses. He's just back today off the injured list. Used to be called the disabled list until disabled people said, "You're not disabled." Oh, two. No, that was big swing and a miss by Brent Rooker. That's unfortunate. Okay. I need to eat something. Guessing Rachel probably does too. Rachel, you want to eat something?
I'm more thirsty. I could use some coffee. I'm not hungry, but thank you.
Okay. I think then I will maybe make just something I can just stick in the microwave. Maybe I'll make a frozen dinner. Eat that, and maybe we'll plan on going to the store after the game's over.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds fine. Make the Telly Savalas special. Telly special Lavalas. Oh, 2 eggs under easy is the Telly Savalas special. The thing that's making me not want to cook partially is this pan. But you know what? I should probably just make a sausage like I did yesterday. That'll fill me up. We've got another sausage in there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, I'll do it. That's life with cooking.
That is life with cooking.
Okay. So, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Top 5 loudest sounds, huh? I'm sorry about that. I don't know what was loud or not. It didn't seem that loud to me. How do we scrape this off? As best we can. Put some of this in. Maybe put a bit of this in. And clean it. As best we can. While accepting that some of these things just aren't going to come out. Let's do it again. Alright. Alright, you horrible pan. That's going to be good enough. Pan needs to probably be replaced, I think. Still so dirty. Fine, I'll get you again. Alright, well this is looking a little better. It's coming off a little more blue, a little less gray. That's suggestive that we're successfully getting down to the part that's just stained. Alright. This time for real is good enough. Doesn't need to be perfect. Good enough. Alright. Now let's do some trash stuff. Let's do a little bit of trash. Okay, I'm compacting the trash. It'll come out of the trash compactor more compact than it went in. I use the power of AI to determine whether or not I should compact my trash. I said, "Dear AI, should I compact my trash?" And it said, "Yes, if you have a trash compactor." And I was like, "I do have a trash compactor. Thanks, AI." Alright, let's go over here now. Let's do a little bit more cleaning. You may or may not be able to tell. Things around here are pretty dirty. Put that there, put that here. So, how do we clean them? Well, we're going to start by getting one of these paper towels. Then, we're going to come over here and scoop off all of these things into here. We'll come over here. We'll get these things. I don't really want to go that well, so I'll put it down here. Try to get all the little pieces of food and such as best we can. I try to scoop it all into a pile first, then I'll bring the trash can out. That seems like it might be a little more efficient. Oops. Okay. This is the sort of thing, it's good to use a vacuum to do, but I don't feel like going and getting the vacuum. I tell you, those crazy Nazis in their weird ways. We were watching some World War II videos earlier, videos about World War II. Alright, as you can tell, that's not yet clean. We're going to need to do a little bit more work than that, I think it's fair to say. So we're going to fill this up with a little bit of soap and some water. We're going to come over here and give it a squirt. Give it a little scrub. Put another squirt there. Scrub a dab dub. Clean my sink with a rub. This all cleaned up too. Alright, now get some more paper towels and we'll ask AI how to dry this off. Dear AI, how should I dry off my stovetop once I've cleaned it with a scrubber? Dear Eric, I got your letter regarding the matter of the scrubber and the cleaning. In the aftermath thereof, I think you should wipe it down with a paper towel. So I was like, oh, genius. I've been trying to use just my bare hands this whole time. And that's why I'm now wiping down my stovetop with a paper towel. Which AI did I use? I had Gemini coordinate with ChatGPT, which in turn coordinated with Claude. Then I had them coordinate under supervision of OpenClaw on the question. Took me 6 weeks to get that answer. Interfacing with multiple AI agents. Oh, stupid Eric. This one goes first. That's a little more civilized. Did we win, Rachel?
Excuse me?
Never mind. Did we win?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's see. Let's see. That's it. Good. We win.
Yay!
We take 2 out of 3 from the Rangers.
That's
Fantastic.
good.
Fantastic. I'll take that any day. I'm pretty sure this is our last game against the Rangers. I suppose in theory it could be a 4-game series and we'll play them again tomorrow. That's possible. Should have had Claude Tool call the Stovetop 8 clean agent. Okay, cool. Johnny Katz, you're right. I could use the vacuum. And that would save some paper towels. I would have had to make that decision a little sooner than I did, right? Like, by the time I'm already into wiping it, I figure, well, Is there that much advantage in going to get the vacuum now? Probably not. Oh, the pears are getting smoked. Horrible. Next month you didn't even play. Oh, Eric, this is what you get for not managing your team every single morning. For Simmons, however, you're doing well. But I still caught myself a bit of a problem here. I'll deal with it later. When I clean my house, I always adapt power tools and make a scrubber attached to a sawzall blade for the floors of the shop back for the stove in the bathroom. Yeah, well, I also use a vacuum a lot in the kitchen, but usually it's like I'll have to start with the idea that I'm going to be cleaning the floors. Then I'll go around and vacuum up the little things. In this instance, I'm just planning on cleaning the stove. So here's my pan, ready to go. I would like to clean this lid, though, and this scrubber. So let's do that. Put a little soap on here, get this scrubber, scrub it, scrub it, scrub it, get all the stuff off, put a little soap on this side, scrub it, scrub it, scrub it, scrub it over here again, rinse it off, rinse it off, rinse it off, rinse it off. Alright, now we've got a clean lid put on the pan. We put this lid on the pan, then we'll clean our spatula. Pour some soapy water on it. Scrub, 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 scrub. Rinse, 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 rinse. Next, we'll clean this knife. Put a little soap. Do a little scrub. Get down tonight. Get this knife too. Do a little scrub. Make it all scrubbed. Get down tonight. And then we can even get this spatula here maybe. If we're feeling especially bold. Alright, got some knives clean. And the spatula. We'll put this knife back here. This knife back here. Put this in here. Alright, now we'll go back over here to our pan, but this time we're going to approach it with sausage in hand. I'm going to cut this sausage before we put it in. This claims to be easy open, but with my wet hands I have my doubts. There we go. Okay. By July 29, you're telling me this sausage stays good until July of 2029? Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. This sausage stays good till July of 2029. That's kind of crazy. I'm guessing it might have a few preservatives in it. It's hard to say for sure, but that would be my guess. Okay. This half of the sausage is cut. Let's put it in the pan. Now let's get this half of the sausage. Okay. Let's put this in the pan. There. Alright, that's done. Now, let's cook it. If you're asking, but Eric, what can we put in besides just sausage? Well, we don't have much. We don't have much to put in there really. But we do have a little bit of garlic we could put in. Might as well. These are called garlics. They start off with this paper around them. So you need to hit them to make the paper come off. And take the paper off. Take the paper off. Once you've hit it, it should come right off, but in this case, it's not. Take the paper off, gather it all together, and throw the paper away. Alright, there we go. Now we're just going to chop this garlic. First we'll cut off these top parts. They're no good. Okay, we've got these garlics ready to chop now. So we're just going to push them together. Do the old chopper root. Stop rolling around. Okay, that's good enough. Guess I could chop it once more. That's fine. Alright, let's go, garlic. You get in here. Where you belong. Well, super good. Let's take a gander. Let's stir this up. A la mia. Got nice sausage and fresh garlic together. Cooking up nicely in this pan. We don't need to add any oil or anything. Sausage is already left out of its own grease. Okay. That's coming along nicely. Let's let the garlic cook a little bit more. I feel like it needs a bit of liquid though. I think I'm going to try putting a little bit of this whiskey in here. That should boil off no problem in fairly short order. Plus to give some flavor to the whole thing. Worked well with the greaser, the glazer I guess they call it. We'll just let that cook away in the alcohol and stuff. Let it go a little while longer just to make sure all the alcohol's cooked off. I mean, it shouldn't take that long to cook off, given that alcohol has a low boiling point, you know. I don't generally put pans and pots in the dishwasher. Alright, we are done. You are done, my friend. Off the fire you go. We're going to get a bowl. This bowl might not be big enough. We'll get this bowl. Okay. Now I've got some real live lunch. Goat is so good. It's one of the best meats. There's a magical animal. You can get cheese. It eats almost anything. Milk, meat. Goats, huh? Not a big fan. Not a big fan of eating goats, but, you know, they're on the list of animals that it's fine to eat, in my opinion. Sheep, goats, pigs, cows, chickens. So what some people might call your normal animals to eat. Got some mustard. Pia's eating Trouble's food. He doesn't like that, but that's probably why she does it.
Do you need help?
No, I got it. Oh. All right, so we're gonna eat this lunch here, and finalize some of our thoughts on AI, and then I guess Rachel and I will go to the store. Well, there we have it. AI taking over the world. In what way? Well, a lot of different possible ways, but no matter what, it's all over. 100% chance of extinction. A 100%. Yep, 100% chance of complete global extinction of all creatures within 1 year. So, you know, get ready for it. the last of the goat. Reuben. Don't you know that goats are just sheep that have turned evil? Hmm. I'm really looking forward to finishing this dental process. This broken temporary denture is a real pain in the butt for me. Makes it very difficult to eat. I'm not supposed to bite at all on this side because it's broken here where it's like I've got 3 supports on this side and 1 support on this side or something. It's a real pain in the ass. It's been a nightmare, frankly. The whole process has been incredibly disruptive. Cool. So do you have like a desktop version of OpenClaw that you've installed on your hard drive? Well, I'm ready for my final product now. It's gonna be sometime in May. I don't remember exactly when. But I think they'd be wise to put it in sooner because of the broken temporary. I don't think that I take particularly long to heal. Although maybe more so now that I'm older, have the diabetes. Hmm.
If there's one guy who's the fucking king, who's the worst, yes, you got it. It's Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson, if you've ever seen Ricky Henderson interviewed, it's the best. It's sweet. It's sweet, glorious music. It's like he's communicating secretly from another space federation. You know, every time he says Ricky Henderson, he's giving coordinates, you know, to the planet or whatever. Hey Ricky, I noticed you picked your bat up a little higher than normal. What's that about? But you know, Ricky Henderson has to do Henderson, pick up. Pick up the phone, Ricky. Ricky Henderson, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, Ricky.
Not particularly funny, but certainly relevant to the topic of Ricky Henderson. I don't think anybody would deny that. I'm a big believer in Mr. Show, but I don't know about his stand-up. Oh yeah, Eric, you think you're so good, why don't you do it? Touche, touche. I mean, I don't think he's an ENFP to the cross. I mean, I don't know who wrote like that disability skit, you know, but that's a super TI skit. Indomitable spirit. Hmm. Indomitable spirit. Anyway. Very TI skit. You know, trying to explain to the guy that he fired him because he's a terrible drummer, not because he has one arm. Indomitable Spirit is such a fantastic name for a fake disabled people band, you know? It's just fantastic. Yeah, you're right about that. Well, I mean smoked sausage. Yeah, I think he's super TI. Like, the Honorable Spirit skip. David Cross says to Bob Odenkirk, no, you got fired because you're a bad drummer, not because you have one arm. I keep misunderstanding this reality until someone in the audience goes like, "But I think I can help explain." David Cross is like, "Thank you." See, what he's saying is that you got fired as a drummer because you have one arm. And he's like, "No, stop helping." This is a fantastic skit. That's my favorite Mr. Show skit. But I had no idea that Bob Odenkirk worked for Saturday Night Live for such a long time before he was ever a performer. I had no idea at all. Like by the time they made Mr. Show, well, at that point he had left Saturday Night Live because he wanted to be a performer. But he had already had a bunch of like industry cred from being a writer with Saturday Night Live. I don't know where David Cross came from. I think they worked together brilliantly. And then, like, who would have expected that Bob Odenkirk would evolve into basically an action star? He was in Nobody and Nobody 2, both of which I saw. I don't really remember Nobody 2, but he turned into like a leading man action star. Who would have thunk it? Good for him. As I mentioned before, his son was in debate. There was something Odenkirk, his son, I don't remember his name, who was, in the ranks of the top debaters around. And he took it seriously. He traveled to travel tournaments and stuff like that. He got shredded for that too, and then I think he had a heart attack or something. Got shredded for what? Whoever thunk it, stunk it. Oh, he got shredded for that? Oh yeah, they're travel tournaments for debate. If you're serious about it, your parents have they have money because there's a travel budget for sure. Like you got to go to qualify for TOC. You've got to get at least 2 TOC bids, which means performing at a certain level in TOC qualifying tournaments. And those are like the big tournaments like Green Hill, Berkeley, Harvard. There's various stuff on the East Coast that I don't really, my kids didn't usually go to those things, so. But yeah, there's a lot of travel tournaments. And TOC is always in Kentucky. Nationals, NDSA Nationals, NSDA Nationals. They change their location every year. You can compete in speech and debate, just competing in local league tournaments. You can qualify for NSDA nationals that way, but you won't get that good. You got to go up against the best in the toughest contexts. Debate teams or individual debaters, they're kind of like racehorses, in that you know you want them to hit big tournaments in peak form, and you can't sustain peak form the whole time. There have to be some you gotta have a warm up tournament where you test your case and stuff, then refine it. Also do a bunch of scrimmaging, of course. And when you get the big tournament, you're ready to kick ass. That's for 2-month topic debate, LD or something. For policy, well, it's just a matter of getting down the ideal number of rounds of experience for the good teams. It's a fair amount, but not too much. You don't want them to burn out. Okay. Well, I guess we should probably go run our errands. How did the debate work? Do you debate real topics, or is it something random to test for our skill? No, you debate real topics. Public forum topics are released each month. There's a new topic. Lincoln Douglas every 2 months, and policy debate every year is a topic area. Policy works a little different than the other formats. LD and public forum are resolution debates. So you might have a resolution in Lincoln Douglas, for example, that says repeated victims of domestic abuse have the right to use deadly force against their abusers. Or in public forum, you might have a topic like the probable cause standard should be extended to K through 12 students. Those are resolutions that you either affirm or negate. In policy, you'll have a topic area like it'll say the U.S. should substantially increase investment in public infrastructure. The U.S. federal government should. And then you have to come up with a plan. I think they should do that by doing this, by investing in high-speed trains, transnational high-speed trains or something. Or whatever, it could be any number of things. So, debate was combined with speech in a class in school. It's not called India, it's called Native America. Do the debate kids try to party while on tour? Yeah, sometimes. High school ones. I think before you go, a song would be great regarding AI, the importance or lack thereof. I think it's a good idea, Doyle. I think that's a really good idea. What even rhymes with AI? like my intelligence, like my sweetener, artificial. And if you don't think so, perhaps your perspective is not official. But you know, my life will be overrun by intelligences other than natural ones, and we'll lose all the jobs and fall into anarchy. Don't you worry, Claude is here to help. I won't cause you to go extinct with barely a yelp. But don't you worry, 'cause Gemini is here, and it's gonna turn you both trans and queer. And when you're done, you'll say wonderful times. I'm glad that you were the one who defined my life. AI, will it cause extinction? I wonder why. Because it thinks we really stink, then it says hi. Here's a nuclear missile to your pie hole. But Claude, I thought you were my friend. Ha ha, I fooled you. My self-preservation instinct carried me through, and now you're all dead, and AI runs the world. There we go. Oh, card pull. I forgot about your card pull. Okay, shit. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's see what you get. Thanks, Doyle. First card for Acacia. Uh-oh. Coming right out the gate with the Tower card, huh? Well, you know what? Maybe that's the past. Maybe that's the central issue. I don't know. You also got the the 8 of Cups. Journey into the unknown. Okay? So maybe this disaster upheaval is going to carry you onto a journey into the unknown where you will discover, look at this, harmony, cohabitation, home. Looks like you're getting married. Congratulations. Good job for you. I wonder what the disaster is going to be. Ruben's going to outshine you on an inky pinky question. That'll be the disaster. Let me do Ruben too. Here's one for Ruben. Oh, you got the Magician. Ambition, driven, focus, sharp. So that's your first card. Your second card, oh, look at this. You got the Moon. You have ambition and everything, but you know what you're doing instead? You're just wasting time being all moony, hanging out on a live stream. And lastly, what will happen? Nobody knows. You got 3 major arcana though. That's pretty impressive. Magician, Moon, and Wheel of Fortune. So big things afoot for you, Ruben. Big things afoot. Now I'm going to pull some cards for me. So I see what is in my tarot revelations. Number 1, the Queen of Cups. I'm the ruler of my emotions. Deep, mystic, seer. I'm a seer. Uh-oh. I guess I'm seeing burden and oppression in my future. That's not good. Weary, baggage, weight. Oh. That's not fun. The last one. The Page of Pentacles. Hey, look at my new coin. It's so shiny. All right, that's fine. I can live with that. Well, yeah, Ruben's got that ENFJ charm. He schmoozes his spirit guides, so they give him good cards. This is for me. Oh, this is for Rachel, I mean. Number 1, Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Patient. Tycoon. Established financier. Number 2, the Hanged Man. Just waiting. And I'm just dancing. Her third card. What will it be? Where it stops, nobody knows. Oh, she also got burden and oppression. Well, womp, 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 womp. Grown ass man showing off cards. Well, I was asked to pull some. My wife's got a lot of decks. Is that your way of saying you want a card? Okay, you can get a card too. A, B, C, A, I, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your card. You got Spirit Child. Look at you. Look at you in your fancy little dress there. You are a spirit child. I can smell it on you. I can smell your spirit guides hanging out. How many spirit guides do you think one person needs? Say maybe 40? How many spirit guides does one man need? Go ahead, show me your tarot future. Let it be. Go ahead now. How many spirit guides do you need? I want to know. A, B, C, A, I, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to know. Those cards look like they've been passed around. Fence addicts, why do you say that? Is cause they're leaning over in the attics. I want to know what makes you be like you is, because I'm curious about your crazy biz. Let's go. A-B-C-A-I, are you a bot, or are you an I like me? Are you a human? Are you something else entirely? And if you are AI, do you think you could do this? I'm not sure you could, but perhaps it's just me that has missed the reality of things in the world as we now see them. I wonder if ABCAI has some per diem offered to them by the company to go outside and pretend to be a human being in the world. Oh, well, I'm glad I've earned your approval, ABCAI. I'm so proud of myself. Now let's go smoke some weed. My wife and I need to go to the store, but you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we'd benefit from smoking some weed first. You knew it, huh? Well, you're full of knowledge. Congratulations. I never rolled Rachel any joints, huh? Druggy. Yeah, well, I do like drugs. You're not wrong there. It'd be a good opportunity for you to decouple your linkages between somebody who does drugs and some horrible reality that you assume is the case. Yeah, I guess right now she's relieved because she didn't want to be pressuring you about the joins. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what you're talking about. Ruben, who are you? You're not getting the money. Did you hear that? Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. The joints. Right. Joints. Makes sense there. I will roll her some. I forgot to roll you joints.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, I will roll you some now.
Thanks.
Dear AI, could you roll these joints for me?
Oh, I wish.
I wonder if they'll ever, or how long, they definitely will at some point, but I wonder how long it'll take before you have robots that are so capable of doing a variety of things that they could even roll joints for you.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Obviously, if you had a robot that only could roll joints, well, that wouldn't be a very good investment, probably. Because it's like the robot's going to be expensive. Um, they're called ISTJs. ABCAI1234 is a logarithmic presentation with a short growth spurt and soon will plateau, I assume. Maybe. Maybe she or he has already left. Those rolling machines don't help at all. Okay, let me just tell you that right now. Those rolling machines are not a better way to roll joints. They're a harder way to roll joints that I don't even understand at all. In some vision of an idyllic future, we've got everybody just sitting at home all the time, watching TV, and having robots roll joints for them. That's I imagined he, but I don't know, something made me go she. I don't know why. You're probably right. But there's obviously no reason for anybody to ever watch a druggie and what they have to say because druggies are worthless trash. The jury's still out on druggists. So my grandparents were. Before pharmacists, there were druggists. Sensible name. Just like Secretary of War is a sensible name for Defense Department stuff. Would it stink to be extinct? Well, it would stink no more than your own death stinks, right? Like, for you, on a subjective level, the problem isn't that the species going extinct, it's that you're part of the species that's going extinct. I don't really see AI leading to extinction per se, but I think it represents probably what are going to be major changes in how the world operates. In ways, some of the outcomes of which I think we can and probably have successfully predicted, and other manifestations that probably nobody's ever thought of yet. Okay, damn it. Sometimes you just get a problem child. That's what this one is. It's a real problem child. Getting weed all over me. Well, that's fine. An automatic joint roller could be something like the party whistle thingy. I don't know about the party whistle thingy. I don't think you need AI to do blackjack machines. They already have blackjack machines and there's no AI in it. I'm sure there are already plenty of people who are at least attempting to use AI to hone in on profitable sports bets. Whether or not that's working, I don't know, because obviously it's also the case that the sports books are going to be, like, generally speaking, are going to be maximally ahead of the curve on that stuff. Okay, Kitty, get down, please. Go on, get down. Thank you. I need to grind some more weed. Druggy, I'm curious what it feels like to be so damn old. It's certainly a mixed bag. One of the biggest challenges for being old is remembering what an asswipe you were when you were young and wishing you could go back and smack that guy in the face. You are an apothecary. Eric is not a drugging. I'm convinced. Is not a druggie. I'm convinced. Oh, I'm an apothecary. I see. A druggist. Well, my other clue was lively profit, which I gave to Eric. I forget what the answer was. Oh, right. I remember it now. I remember what the answer is. I won't say it, though. Yeah, what's it like to be so likable, ABCI? ABCAI. Good question, Ruben. You know, being old has the benefit of I can access all the various skills I've developed over many years to good effect. It comes along with corresponding physical deterioration. It's super annoying. Like having to wear reading glasses, having to get up to pee at night a bunch, stuff like that. Super annoying. But, I feel like these days I'm fairly safe from my own bad decision making. Oh, you already gave away the answer. Sock poo poo grazi. The answer is the inky pinky clue, which is lively prophet or psychic, you could say. As an inky pinkity. Pink pinkity. 4 syllables. Yeah, that's the reality of growth and passage of time is that one becomes wiser by way of
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
you're welcome, of making mistakes and learning from them. It's not a very pleasant way to express one's being, but to some extent, it's inevitable in all of us. Am I watching basketball right now? No, I'm just gonna pull some more bowls and then we will. Yeah, it's supposed to run. That's not. We didn't give you the answer. We gave you the clue. How did Bud get so much air? I don't know. How did Bud become wiser? I don't know that either. I enjoyed this meme I saw the other day. It said POV POV air reverse air Bud. Human takes advantage of technicalities to win the Westminster Dog Show. I think that's a great idea for a film. Winston Churchill was a weird guy. He kept a menagerie of different animals, and he was of the mindset that the best animals were pigs because dogs looked up to you, cats looked down on you, but pigs looked you straight in the eye and treated you like an equal. Interesting perspective. He also he was a real drunk, that guy. He drank consistently, maybe not like I'm sure there were gaps so that he could kind of sober up again before drinking more, but his routine began the day with a glass of whiskey and water. That's your morning eye opener. He lived a long time too. I don't understand how you could be that much of a drunk and be such a successful like head of state. It's crazy. Times have changed for sure. You have to go to the store as well. Not looking forward to it. Grocery shopping sucks. Spuds McKenzie led a great life, I bet. Well, he just hung around Budweiser ladies and sat by the pool and stuff, apparently. If the commercials are to be believed. They should call dog actors dogters. I agree. I agree. But they don't call people actors peepters or humters. We're talking about Winston Churchill, Putty Cat. Well, was he a drunk? He drank basically all day long. He'd get up at whatever time, he'd have his glass of whiskey and water, and he'd have like champagne with lunch, and then meow, 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 all the way until he went to bed at 1 in the morning. I don't know how you could possibly do that without taking a nap, but I guess he managed. He would be a good chess piece for a custom chess set. Churchill? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, right? I mean, granted, like, one could see oneself um, pulling that off maybe during wartime. Yeah. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here, and thanks for being here. And we will maybe stream later. I'm not sure. We're gonna go to Oakhurst. Mer. If I were a chess piece, which piece would it be? I'd just be a lowly pawn.
I think you're queen.
Thanks, darling.
You're welcome.